Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Wednesday morning. I got a great video planned out for you guys today. Stuff I wanted to talk about. Today, I want to talk a little bit about tariffs. I find it super interesting, some of the stuff that was recently said, and I actually had a buddy of mine just ask me what I thought about tariffs and stuff. And so I kind of wanted to do a video on that topic. And I know right off some people are like, man, I ain't worried about tariffs. I want to hear about silver. But I think tariffs are going to be really important that you understand what's going on, and that way you can kind of prepare for that. So in order for that to do that, we got to talk a little bit first about what Trump had just recently said. And I'm not going to lie, I am a fan of Trump. However, I was not too impressed with this comment, but I'm hoping it is just a move to bring people to the negotiating table, try to put us a little bit more on a fair trade deal, and kind of see what happens. Because like I started to touch on yesterday, but I didn't want to go too much into it because I was already planning my video for today with talking about tariffs. And so I didn't want to go too much into it, but I think it's an important topic to talk about. So if you enjoyed today's video, please hit that thumbs up button. So many people watch these videos, and the thumbs up button does not get hit as often, just because people forget about it. I don't know how many videos I watch. I'm so into the video, I don't think about hitting the thumbs up button. That's why I try to make it a point to mention it. And leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on what's going on, and I love to hear them. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel. So jumping right in, right off the bat, I've got to read the quote that Donald Trump had just recently said on social media. So it said, "We are committed." Let's see here. "We require a commitment from these countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling into the US, the wonderful US economy." So Trump wrote that on social media. I'm going to continue on real quick with a little bit more that was said. They can go find themselves another sucker. "There is no chance that the BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade, and any country that tries should wave goodbye to the United States of America." Okay, so let's talk about this real quick, because this is kind of crazy to me. First of all, the word sucker, I just got such a kick out of that, because here's the thing. You're printing money that has no backing. We haven't even audited our gold in who knows how long. We assume the gold is still in Fort Knox. We assume the U.S. economy, it's definitely a spending economy. We spend a lot of money. We buy a lot of stuff. And at first, that sounds like a great deal. Because, you know, hey, it's great to have a customer. I don't care what business you're in. When you got customers, it's great. But the thing you got to understand is that a lot of people don't understand is, how are we able to buy that stuff? We're only able to buy that stuff because of the massive debt that Americans are in. I mean, the average American is so far underwater now, it's unbelievable. And now they're coming up with new ways to go even more in debt. And they're printing even more currency. And the whole system is just like literally a big balloon that just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And when you think it can't get any bigger, you find out, nope, there's another way it can get bigger. You know, I was watching an ad, and I was playing a video game earlier, and you have to watch these ads periodically to play the game if you're not spending money. And the ad was basically explaining how you can buy crypto and then basically margin it, and have basically 10 times the returns. And it's crazy and mind-blowing how much money, first of all, people have put in, but then they're almost doing fractional reserve buying, because literally you can put in, say, $10 and all of a sudden get $100 worth. It's crazy. Now, you don't physically have $100 worth of crypto, but you do have the gains or the losses that's associated with that. It's another way to gamble. Can you imagine going to the casino and you're placing a bet? Let's say you got $100 bill. You put your $100 bill down and they say, okay, so here's the deal. If you make 10%, well, we're going to pay you 10x. So you'll make a whole $100. But if you lose 10% of it, we're going to take the whole $100. And it basically promotes gambling. Because here's the thing, when the markets are bad, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow in a video, when you have that kind of volatility, you can see crazy stuff happen. Now, if you're margined, you're borrowing against your capital, you can have extreme losses. And so when you look at it, the only way Americans are able to buy as much as we buy in terms of anything, whether it be crypto, whether it be electronics, shoes, clothes, cars, whatever, is because of the debt that we take on. It's interesting. I find it hard to believe that Trump doesn't realize this. I realize that he must know the BRICS is now a threat. Despite all these people that have been giving warnings on YouTube, and people still get in the comments and say, no, it's not adding up. It's not going to amount to anything. And they always want to say, look, they talked about this last year and it was nothing. They talked about the year before, it was nothing. Here's the thing. It might have been nothing at one time, but each year it gets more powerful. It gets stronger. So now, like I touched on yesterday, here's the thing. If I tell you don't do something and there's going to be a punishment if you do it, are you going to openly do it? No. I mean, you might still do it. I mean, you think about it, when people rob a bank, they don't openly say they're going to rob the bank. They do it secretly, and then eventually if they get caught, okay, then you pay the price. Well, here's the thing. We're telling them that they are not going to go against the US dollar. We can't physically fend off every one of these countries. And I say physically fight them, basically. We can't do that. All we can do now is threats. And I think tariffs were great at first when they weren't used as much as they're used now. Because ultimately, we know what happens with tariffs. It raises the price of everything we buy. And I'm sure I'm going to get some ugly comment below that says, you just don't want to buy American products, you cheapskate, or something along those lines. And yes, you're right. I want to buy what I can afford, what I have the money. And I know someone out there might even say you can clearly afford it if you're buying silver and gold. And I probably can. But the truth of the matter is that's why I'm able to buy precious metals, is because I'm tight with my money. If I can find a cheaper option, I'm going to buy it. I try to make do with what I got, and the extra funds that I have at the end of the month, I put towards precious metals. And I will even scrimp and save just to get a little extra. And it doesn't matter how little it is. It can be tiny. In fact, I'm looking right now at something I just picked up that I'll probably be mentioning in another video. Somebody had these at a little, I guess, resale place. Not really anything major. You got some half dollars, about 12 dimes, a silver quarter, and nobody wanted to buy them. But here's the thing. Nobody wanted to buy them because the dimes, originally he wanted like $3.50 a piece for. I mean, he had $70 on this, although it started wearing off. And then this, he had $25, $22 on a silver quarter. I mean, yeah, it's in great shape, don't get me wrong, but it ain't worth $25. And so nobody wanted to buy it. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I'll offer you a little bit for it. I'll give you $40 for it. And thus, I picked them up. But we'll talk about that in another video. You have to understand, though, what happens with tariffs. Tariffs are great in terms of, yeah, they convince people to buy American. However, the problems that come up with that is at a certain point, the prices are just going to keep going up and up and up. And here's the thing. We weren't doing 100% tariffs before. We were doing 20%, 25%, maybe even 50% tariffs. I mean, I'm wondering if they're going to put tariffs on everything across the board. Someone had actually asked me one day, what happens if we put tariffs on gold and silver? I think we would be extremely foolish to put tariffs on gold and silver coming into the United States. We're already just printing money out of thin air and using that printed money to buy something that's solid. That's a solid investment, you know? And so I can't imagine them doing it. I think they will probably announce it, can try to get people to the negotiating table to do it. And if we don't get our way, maybe we'll put some tariffs on some stuff. But we're certainly not going to put it on strategic items. Items that the U.S. military needs. Items that I won't even say the average everyday, but certain items, we're not going to do it. I don't think we would do it on medicine. Why? Because medicine is already so expensive. I would be shocked if they really bumped it up drastically, because then people would be, I'll be honest, hating on Trump, because healthcare is already expensive. Insurance is expensive, you know, and the majority of our stuff, it's not made here in the U.S. anymore. Let's be honest. A lot of those companies have already left the country. We have to lure them back. It's a slow road. BRICS did not get where it's at now overnight. They built up. And every year they're getting a little stronger and a little stronger. And you can't expect them to openly drop what they've already accomplished. That would be like me quitting making YouTube videos. I didn't spend 8 years making YouTube videos so I could quit now. I mean, yeah, it's a slow road. I'm not getting necessarily the subs that I'd like to get, but I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep pressing on. And I know a day will come that it will break out for me. And it may be talking about silver. It may be in the Philippines. It may be on a whole nother topic. You know, I could just make a couple videos that just really take off. You know, so you have to understand that tariffs are going to raise prices. And it's going to make it harder for you to get certain goods. Whether those goods are more expensive or whether those goods are just unavailable. You know, think about all the stuff that gets imported in from other countries. Now, we're already fighting inflation here in the United States. It's hard now. Prices of everything have gone up drastically. You know, we saw a great day though, I'll be honest. Silver starting to inch its way back up. We're over $31 again. Gold starting to inch its way back up. We don't know how this is going to play out, but there's a lot going on in a lot of different countries. Tensions are heating up again. Now, I'll be honest, Trump's not in yet. We haven't really started addressing some of these problems. You know, we've had a lot of rumors of war, that's for sure. I'm hoping we don't go down that road. You know, I know some people are like, if we did, silver and gold would skyrocket. I don't want to see my silver and gold go up at the cost of security. You know, of the cost of being able to travel. Because let's be honest, if a major war broke out and the U.S. is involved, I'm probably not going to get to go to the Philippines. And it would especially be bumming because now I have been eating into my pantry a little bit more. Only because, you know, obviously I'm not going to, if I leave for an extended time period, I don't necessarily want to have a huge pantry that's just going to go out of date. You know, yeah, I can rotate certain stuff, but I don't want to waste it. You know, so I've been saving that money now that I would be normally buying on groceries and putting it more to other stuff. But people just don't understand how much electronics, how much medicine, how much clothes, how much all this stuff comes in. And then if you put 100%, think about what 100% tariff is. That means if a product is $10, 100% would mean that product would now cost $20. Because that extra fee is just going to Uncle Sam. And in a way, that's great. Uncle Sam would have more money. I know some people don't like to hear that. But yeah, they would have more money, and then they would dole it out in some kind of, you know, hey, use our central bank digital currencies and we'll give you some for free. And despite people telling me I would never use them or this and that, you know, I always tell people, yeah, I would use them on certain stuff. I wouldn't fully 100% adopt it, but if you're going to give me some for free, I'll definitely go and start buying my groceries with it. You know, and if they want to see that I'm buying toilet paper, eggs, bacon, I don't know, fruits, vegetables, whatever, that's fine. I don't care. If I don't want them seeing what I'm spending my money on, I'm certainly not going to use something digital. I'm not going to use credit card. I mean, even your credit card, it has now a 3-digit tracking code. So they know what you're buying if you're using credit cards. I heard someone leave me a comment one day. He would never buy gold or silver online. He don't want them to know. Here's the thing. I mean, who knows if you still have it or not? I mean, anything that I've bought online, I had it. I lost it. I spent it. I literally messed up one time and cashed in a bunch of quarters that were silver. I really did do that. You know, it was an accident. I was cleaning stuff up, and somehow my good quarters got mixed in with my junk quarters. I know now I will never put silver in a paper holder again. And the stuff that is in paper holders is put away in a way that as soon as I can rotate it out. But I'll be honest, those plastic boxes get expensive. Those guard boxes. I mean, that one that I just bought a little while ago, the quarter box, it came with 50 tubes and a nice box. That box, that was like $60 just for a box to put silver in. But the cost of losing it is a whole lot more. So, you know, I'm a big fan of that now. But, you know, really, I'm getting off topic a little bit. It's been going a little longer lately. I don't want the video to get too long. I want to try to turn it back to 15. I'm already at 16 and a half. But I think it's important that people realize tariffs are just going to raise prices. And if you're not prepared for that, it could get ugly. We need to be prepared as stackers for whatever's going to come our way. The more self-sufficient you can be, the better off you're going to be. With everything coming into this country now, we don't make that much. So the fact is, if you can produce a little more for yourself, it's going to put you in a better spot. So be mindful. They're going to have to print more money. Things are going to get even more interesting. I'm not even going to get into the banking system in this video because that's getting more hectic. We do have Fed rate meeting in 2 weeks. I'll be talking about that as it gets a little closer. Who knows what they're going to do? If they're going to cut rates, raise rates, we'll see what happens. But the fact that people take our printed dollars and give us their actual items, that's a good thing for us. It's a good deal. So I certainly wouldn't want that deal going away by any means. So with that being said, going to wrap the video up here. I thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you all have a great day. Take care, everybody. And have a good one. Bye-bye. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Bye-bye.